Bailey, you got any threes?
No, go fish.
I will.
What?
We'll go, because I'm a fish.
Manny, what are you even talking about?
Well, no, look, I learned in a biology class today. So apparently there's no real way to define what a fish is without putting all these other things together.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. Manny, nobody cares about evolution or animals.
Oh, really?
Animals have been on this world for billions of years. They've gone through every kind of stressor this world has to offer. The simple fact that animals are still here goes to show that they have survived and evolved to be experts in their own environments. Humans are special though. They have been bound to the earth by their own constraints, but have found ways to work around that. Many of these feats are possible due to biomimicry, the use of animal structures in engineering.
Psh, yeah, right.
What do geckos and tape have in common?
They're sticky?
Exactly. But what is the difference between them? Tape uses a glue adhesive that leaves a sticky residue whenever you attach it to something. Geckos, on the other hand, they're able to crawl around all over the place and not leave a trace. All right? This is thanks to something we like to call frictional adhesion. First, what makes the gecko pad sticky? Well, it's the CD right here and the scan source. Those are the main stars of the show. The CD are going to be lined underneath the scales of the scan source, and whenever the gecko attaches itself to any surface, TV glass, wall, these CD are going to interact with whatever molecules are on that surface using the van der Waals force, which are very small and weak forces, but multiplied around all of these CD makes them very, very strong. And so this allows the gecko to unadhere and adhere itself to any surface very efficiently. And so now that we know how the gecko pads are sticky, where do these structures come from? To answer that question, we must ask another. What homologous structures, or at least what similar structures, are there between sticky and non-sticky geckos? So here we have a phylogenetic tree of the order Gecko now, and we're going to zoom in on the family Sphirodactylidae. Within this family, we have multiple different genuses that will help us understand the adhesive story of how geckos got their sticky pads. So we have our outgroup, which is a genus that shares the common ancestor with all of these species that we are interested at looking at. Now the outgroup is going to help us compare the structures of the ancestor that didn't have the adhesive pad to structures of the taxa that do have the adhesive pad. And in this example, we have the Eublephaриdae that are going to help us out with that. Now the Eublephaриdae, we can see that these guys do not have any adhesive pads. Instead, they have long little fingers that have claws at the ends to help them dig in the ground. They're mainly a terrestrial animal. Now, examining every species, we see something interesting. Only 6 times did the frictional adhesive capabilities evolve within the family of Sphirodactylidae. 4 times did this happen in an entire genus. The Sphirodactylus, Coleodactylus, Aristeliger, and the Chatogecko. Now this helps us out because now we're able to see the commonalities between these geckos in order to find out what structures are actually helping them be sticky. Now if we go back to the phylogenetic tree, we're going to notice 2 species that evolved their sticky pads separately from the rest of their genus. And that is going to be the Gonatodes humoralis and the Eulyptus europea. We're mainly going to be looking at the Gonatodes humoralis, and they live in South America. These guys were studied, and they found out that they have longer spinules that are branched out into spatulated tipped CD.
What does this mean? How does it help with biomimicry?
Let me introduce to you Gecko Materials. Gecko Materials is a company started by Capella Kirst. She's a PhD student from Stanford University, and she is the inventor of Gecko tape. And no, it's not a tape used on geckos. Instead, it's a tape that uses frictional adhesion to stick to things. Currently, they're making the tape looking at geckos that have full frictional adhesion and mimicking their toe pads. Currently, these products are being used for space, military, and construction equipment. And this tape can hold 120 kilopascals in shear stress, leave no residue, is effortless to use, and very, very sustainable. Now, it's safe to say that there are a lot of pros to using Gecko tape. The only problem being is that each 3-inch by 4-inch piece of tape is $1,000. So this is why studying the evolution of an animal and knowing where their structures came from is so important. Because the biggest thing to know in biology is that structures don't just come to be. That is known as the finalist fallacy. There will always be something before the key structure we are looking at that evolved into the key structure we know now. Until we study that proto-structure, I guess you could call it, we won't know if there's a simpler way to build these biomimicry products.
That's all very cool, but that's only one product. How many more could there
Planes.
be? What?
Planes. Where do they come from?
I don't.
They came from birds and the wing warping. The
Okay.
bullet train.
Manny.
Well, the bullet train, where did it come from?
I don't.
It came
What?
from the kingfisher's
No,
beak.
stop.
Bailey. Bailey.
Bailey. Bailey, you got any threes?
Yeah, wait. No, go fish.
I will.
What? Manny, stop. Let's just play.
Nobody ever likes my jokes. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching this Oolong Owl production. Here's the references we used to gather information for this video. I hope you have a lovely day.